and welcome to another episode of the Star Wars Minute. It's your daily podcast in which we analyze, we scrutinize, and we celebrate The Last Jedi, one moist minute at a time. I'm Alex Robinson from alexrobinson.fun.
I'm Pete the Retailer from PeteTheRetailer.com.
I am Asterios' co-host, Sirancha. Together we are the loudest podcast.
And I'm Sirancha's co-host, Asterios Kokonos, co-host of the Loudest Podcast.
Welcome back, you guys.
Thanks for having us.
We're talking about minute 17 today. Minute 17 of The Last Jedi. It starts with a pouty Luke Skywalker folding up his clothes in his Ahch-To hut. And it ends a minute later with Grandmaster Snoke revealing that a Kerr's weakness is blank.
Whoopee.
What weakness for Whoopi?
The Snoke story. The other stuff, we talked a little bit about his cosplay vestments there.
Yeah.
But the other stuff that's there is there, Alex, you're the type to peruse the visual dictionary and what have you. Is there any information on the other things on his desk there, the little crystal and the pens or whatever?
Unfortunately, I do not have the Last Jedi visual dictionary, so this will have to remain a mystery.
All right, I'll cut that part out where you're a failure.
I've given you everything.
No, it's totally the type of thing that I would have looked at, but I didn't. Lazy me was just like, you know what, Alex will probably do that.
I bought the original visual dictionary, and then I was like, you know what, they're just going to collect these all into one thing. I'm just going to wait to buy the other two, and then I never did. So, anyway.
This guy sure has a lot of Jedi knickknacks and stuff in his office for a guy that hates the Jedi. Like, there's a crystal there. Come on, you're going to tell me that's not a kyber crystal? No, it's another kind of crystal he just happened. It's just he really loves geodes. Like, that's a holocron with some ancient knowledge, or it's a kyber crystal. Come on.
I totally want to see more knickknacks, more Jedi kind of tchotchkes, more, just like I want like a little, snow globe, or like the thing where it does the plastic injection with a Snoke globe. Yeah.
Which we do see in the 9th movie. We do just see a big tank of snow.
There you go.
That's true.
I want a Snoke globe, everybody. Let's make those.
I bet they're selling those in the Galaxy's Edge right now. Well, you know who does show up in this minute? Chewbacca the Wookiee.
Yes.
The wonky Chewbacca. Yeah, he's what do you think? This is again question for the panel. What do you make of Luke's relationship with Chewbacca? How would you describe it?
Like brothers. You know what I mean? It's like he doesn't like immediately run over to like hug Chewbacca. He's like, hey, you screwed up my door. And as we learned last week, that door is also a piece of my spaceship. So You broke two things I needed. So it's like, I kind of get it. I get that he's kind of, you'd be pissed off if your brother hit you with a water balloon.
Yeah, going off the theory that Luke is an emo teenager who really wants attention, it's like when your mom comes in your room. It's like, oh, what do you do in my room, Mom? But secretly you're super happy to be getting that sweet, sweet attention you crave.
Because you did want to talk about what happened at school that day, even though you say you didn't.
Yeah.
Mom, play with my crystals.
My Snoke globe, Mom. It's an action figure.
I do like, because Luke's read on that is totally the same as like, Mom. He's like, Chewie, like, what are you doing here? Get out of my room. I totally dig it. All right.
Yeah, I like that.
I don't know what, I was trying to think of times that we see the two of them together.
Very
when do
rarely.
they interact, Chewie and Luke? They meet at the bar. Then they take a road trip together. Chewie yells at Luke and almost, tries to kill him because he wants to put handcuffs on him. Then they go through the whole Death Star sequence of Star Wars together. Then
they play space chess.
Well, that's with the droids. So not Luke is probably too. Luke doesn't understand.
Oh, Luke
chess.
didn't play space chess with them?
I don't think so.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, then who is C-3PO saying to let the Wookiee win? To R2-D2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think R2-D2 would be smart enough not to screw with a Wookiee at a chess game? R2-D2's the smart one. All right, anyway, I'm sorry, I interrupted.
No, it's all right. Well, I think he knows that if Chewbacca gets angry, he's probably if he as again, this is going all the way back to Star Wars, but Chewbacca
Also,
gets
they're
angry.
former co-workers.
He's
At
gonna
this
start
point,
ripping arms
R2-D2
off.
should. Sorry, I interrupted.
No, it's all right.
again.
Well, 3PO doesn't know that though. He, as far as you know, he doesn't know anything about this Wookiee.
Yeah.
I know 3PO got his mind wiped by the guy from by the guy from Law and Order. I'm well aware of that. But R2-D2
LA
should
Law.
know to let the Wookiee win because R2-D2 didn't get his mind. Well, again, I'm sorry, I interrupted.
What so then I think it's a joke that they're playing on C-3PO.
Yeah, totally.
Life is a joke that's being played on C-3PO.
That's
He was
right.
made to
That's-
suffer. There's a lot in life.
Toady.
That's our new theory about the nature of the universe. It's just life is all a joke being played on C-3PO. We're all just players.
Okay.
We're all just
how
pawns.
about this though?
Mhm.
When Luke gets kissed by Leia the second time in Hoth, like Chewbacca laughs about that, right? Chewbacca's like,
Yeah.
He does.
Chewbacca likes Luke. Like they're buddies, they're bro. It's like they're frat bros.
Well, that is the closest that we see them because also, yeah, in
Not true.
what?
I think I would say a more tender moment between them is when Luke is getting ready to go in his X-wing in Empire, and he goes over and he scratches Chewie behind his ears, and then Chewie hugs him and stuff. So
Yeah,
I think he likes
I
it.
meant Empire was the closest we see them. That Echo
Oh
base
yeah, that's true.
is the
Yeah.
closest because they are kind of buddies there and they do have a little moment. But then I don't know when else. Do you think Chewie has lingering resentment over his role in Luke's plan to get out of Jabba's palace? He's like, I don't know. They sent me to you attached me to a chain again and send me in there to get captured. Like what?
Of course, the Wookiee's got to be the one to go in chains, right? Of
Right,
course,
yeah,
that's how
always.
this goes out.
I don't like that. That's a very good point.
I
Anyway,
wonder.
How did we get back to Return of the Jedi?
We were talking about Chewbacca showing up
Oh,
here and
right.
his relationship with Luke.
It's my fault. Chewie's relationship with Luke.
Yeah. Well, here's something interesting because he says, "Where's Han?"
Yeah.
And it's a really sad moment because obviously, it reminds us, oh yeah, I forgot Han Solo got killed in the last movie.
Yeah.
And but it also means that the last time Luke knew Han, he still owned the Millennium Falcon. So this is because why else would he
Right.
assume that, if they're here with the Falcon, he should be more like, how'd you
yeah.
get the Falcon back or something like that? You got it back from the Bean Brothers or whoever
Yeah,
they
he's like, wait, the Falcon's here? Where's Duquesne? Did we just spoil the Force Awakens for you? I know
I
you
forgot about that. Oh yeah, okay, whatever. But it's
no. I'm sorry. I Sriracha, the only two that you've seen were this one and the next one. You didn't know that.
No, I know
Okay.
everything. I know the basic outline of every. That's like saying at the end of Titanic, the boat sinks. Like
What?
it's
Yeah.
it's an
I
old
haven't
movie.
seen Titanic. I really.
Oh,
haven't.
I'm sorry.
Don't get too attached to leads. But here's what I was gonna say though.
What?
Given that
Suck it
the
to
Falcon is like a floating bachelor pad, it would be like if all of a sudden my apartment showed up in Portland and you're like, oh, Asterios' apartment is here. Wait a minute, where's Asterios? It's like, well, yeah, it should be with my apartment. So I do get that.
So if it'd be like you showed up with Pete and you're like, why you're here in Asterios' apartment? And then he's like, and then he has to explain to me how it's some crazy how you were murdered by your own son.
I also don't like how Rey is like, Chewbacca said you've got to come with us. It's like, you don't think Luke could speak Wookiee at this point? He's also
Probably
like
not.
a space wizard. Like he could do anything. This guy, like, it's a little presumptuous to assume that you're translating for like Master Jedi Luke Skywalker, Rey.
And is she really translating, or is he really saying something totally different? Like, where's my money? Where's my money, Lebowski?
Take your cosplay off. We have to leave.
Where's the bathroom? I have to pee. And it's like Chewbacca says you have to come with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that got me thinking now because in the holiday special, Leia needs C-3PO to translate when she's talking, she calls the Wookiee house and talks to them. But Luke, I think just mainly, I know he does. I don't know. I think there is a little bit of, he's kind of bits and pieces in it. He does. I don't think he understands fully everything that they're saying. We'll have to go back and watch the holiday special again to get a full.
Plus, they were communicating over computers, which might do some kind of automatic
That's true.
translation or text at the bottom. Although Luke can't read, so maybe something else.
I get an Alderaanian princess and a diplomat not knowing Wookiee. Rey's picked up Wookiee pretty fast here, right? But Luke was buddies with this walking carpet for decades. Maybe it's ridiculously easy to learn. You know how people are like, Spanish is a very easy language to learn?
Yeah.
Maybe Wookiee's just very easy to pick up.
Right.
If we recall in that in The Force Awakens, Rey just knows off the bat. Like, she doesn't learn it. She's just kind of like, the instant that they show up, she understands what he's saying. And so
I think they retconned it so that at a certain point, Wookiee traders stopped by Jakku, and she learned it from Wookiee traders. Not making that up.
I 100%
That sounds
Might be
like
confusing the
fun.
details, but they kind of are going back and filling in how she knows how to do all these things. Like,
you mean Wookiee traitors?
Traitors!
I do like that when he's like, "Where is Han?" and then cut to Kylo Ren. It's
Yeah,
like
it's a
good. We
good-
talked
good
about that
cut.
a little bit. I feel like they didn't. Again, I could be wrong. Everybody was going to point out all the occurrences of this in the original trilogy, but I feel like that's more of a modern filmmaking thing.
Yeah.
Is like talking about a character, cut to that character, or in this case, where is Han? Oh, the answer to that is his son who killed him.
Right.
That kind of. Using that kind of bridge between scenes, I feel like is a more modern thing that we see in these sequel movies, and I like it here. And I forgot that this is the first. You guys got a lot of first appearances in this week. We originally it was just Porgs, but then it's like, oh wait, this is the first appearance of Kylo Ren and Snoke in this movie. We saw
first in
Snoke.
person Snoke.
Yeah, we saw just like a floating Snoke face.
Yeah. Although that's not to be discounted, because this is the first time we've only seen Snoke via hologram, and at this point we all thought he was a big giant because that's what he looked like in the last movie. So seeing him here in person, it's a Sirancha, in the last movie we saw Snoke, but we only saw him via hologram, and in the hologram he was very giant, so no one knew how big Snoke actually was in real life. And then we saw his head earlier in the movie, and his head was still giant, so who knows?
Turns out he's the size of E.T.
Yes.
And it's weird because it's like, all right, because the Emperor's hologram is normal sized, and when the Emperor contacts Vader in his little custom tie, he's teeny tiny. But Snoke's hologram is huge. I feel like the Emperor deserves a much bigger hologram than Snoke.
I think when we see the first time we see the hologram, it's big. That's when
Of the
Vader's
Emperor?
kneeling down and talking to the
Oh, you're right. That is a big. Okay, and it was only like shoulders up too. It wasn't even
just
like
a giant
full body.
rat. Giant
That's
bust.
a good point.
It was an old lady with monkey eyes.
Yeah.
But then the Energizer Bunny came in. Wasn't that a thing?
Yes, that did happen.
Also canonical.
Yeah. Strangely.
One
But yeah,
little
I think
detail.
holograms are all variable. I guess it says a lot about people in the Star Wars universe as to what size hologram they use.
Yes, because this is what's interesting to me is that like Snoke clearly has self-esteem issues. He's like, I need a much bigger hologram than Emperor Palpatine had. It's like, yeah, you've
Right.
probably done a lot less. Oh, I'm sorry, Sirancha, what were you about to say?
One little detail, this is totally off topic, but in this scene that I liked a lot with the whole evil aesthetic of this entire room was I like when Kylo Ren is coming up the elevator, there are like 7 of those like machine shaft, how there's bars and they move all different directions, like an old school elevator. I like how that's just shorthand for evil building. Like, where do you see those types of elevators? Tower of Terror, rickety mine shaft in a Saw movie, and intergalactic space station, just because it looks cool.
Yeah, and he's like, I
Totally.
want only red lighting. I want the evilest lighting you could get me.
He develops a lot of film too, so he wants to be played. Kids, film used to be something anyway. Well, so it seems to me holograms, do you think, suppose I'm watching a hologram and I'm like, oh, it seems like it should be something on the receiver's end that they can adjust the size of what they're, like the same way you can adjust the volume of something. You should be able to make the hologram bigger or smaller on your receiving end, depending on what you're looking at. So it almost shouldn't even matter what the other person's settings are. It should just be a matter of what the receiver's settings are. You know what I mean?
I think. Well, no, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I mean, yeah, obviously, unless you're like because it's like, what is Snoke going around to like everybody's receiver being like bigger, bigger, bigger? That's it. Because if I'm Kylo Ren, I'm going to make him teeny tiny and be like, no, you're huge. And be like, look at this little guy. I'm crushing your head. You're already deformed head. Like, that's what I'd be doing.
I think it would be a good, a different kind of power move to just make himself really tiny. So like Kylo Ren had to like bend over and like kind of, he's like, closer,
totally.
closer, closer.
Yeah. And very quiet too. So we had to really get in there and listen.
The quiet talkers. Yeah. I know all about the quiet talk power play.
I'm assuming that it's like a website. Snoke is like a website.
Mm-hmm. How so?
I think, who is that? Fleetwood Mac? No. The hologram is, when you send out a hologram, I think it defaults to the receiver's settings as to what size they want their holograms, unless you specifically say, no, this is a big hologram. Like you can say like, send me giant, I'm doing a hologram, make it really big. Like, because a website will just show up at kind of whatever, your standard settings are, unless you say like, no, make this big in the code. So I think there's probably, some way that you can just punch in like big, bigger.
So something in Snoke's system overrides whatever setting the people have, where they can only see it big. They can't.
Maybe it
see
works
it on
like
small.
Zoom. Like he made it real big and then it got stuck, like that lawyer that got stuck as a cat on a Zoom meeting, and now he can't figure out how to.
If that lawyer was a pork, that would be the greatest court case of all time.
Oh yeah, instant judgment in his favor.
Oh my goodness.
Or maybe it's like NBA Jam. He punched in the code for big head mode and then didn't know how to turn it back off. So all his holograms are huge. We see for the first time the evil red throne room, and more importantly, the gold pajamas.
Does have a Hefner vibe to him.
Yeah. Now I years ago, I think, what were we watching? Was it North by Northwest or
North by?
Yeah. Or there's some movie that we were watching. I believe it was a Hitchcock movie where they I think Cary Grant was wearing gold pajamas. And I was like, I want gold pajamas. I like that look. And so my wife got me some gold pajamas, and I do own them, but they're a little bit too big, and so I look like a schlubby kind of. I look more like Snoke than Cary Grant. And I don't, I haven't treated them. They're old. I just throw them right in the wash, even though they're kind of like, satin or silk or whatever. They're not supposed to go in the wash. I have not treated them well, but I do own gold pajamas, and I just want to get that out there since this is the first appearance.
Nice. You should go as Snoke for your cosplay.
I should have worn them for today. I should have just shown up to this episode in gold pajamas.
You know what? Save it for the minute Snoke dies. Then wear the gold. That'll be like
and then rip your pajamas apart again.
I thought you were going to say save it for the Patreon supporters because
definitely, yeah.
Double.
They need to pay to see me in my pajamas.
Save it for your OnlyFans.
I really like this. Just generally speaking, I really like this room.
Generally speaking,
I think General Grievous, General Admiral Bone to pick. No, what is it? I really like this big room. I love it later when we see the fight. I think this is a very good example of Rian Johnson's ability to compose incredibly pretty things that seem very original and very from his mind. Like not saying that episodes 7 and 9 are not gorgeous, but I feel like 7 and 9 also have a lot of homage. Whereas like The Last Jedi, like this guy's trying to do his own thing. Like he's trying to do a grumpy Luke Skywalker. He's doing a thing where like it's raining on one character and then the other one's got the raindrops. he's got these little birds, and Chewbacca's eating birds, not like chicken McNuggets nonstop. Like, I like a lot of the switch. I think the reason this is my favorite movie from the sequels is that like Rian Johnson takes a lot of big swings, and like yeah, some of them miss, but it's like you got to give this guy credit.
I agree.
Yeah, I think I said it last week, the week before, that this movie has some of my favorite Star Wars things in it, and you can't say that about every Star Wars movie.
Mhm.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. This movie has some of my favorite Star Wars stuff.
Well, you guys, of course.
Oh yeah.
Hello.
I wonder how much of it is, I'd like to see the storyboards. Or again, I'm on a quest. By the pandemic has been interfering with my quest to see the original screenplay, which the one that was submitted to the Academy for consideration is locked in the Academy Museum.
You got to
vault.
go down there.
I got to go down there, but I can't yet. But
Right.
before the season's over, I plan to make it down there and read the script. But I would love to see, either in the storyboards or in the script, like how much of this is just purely, how much of this between the description and the on screen, like how much of it is just kind of created conceptually on the script level, or how much of it is his cinematographer, Steve Yedlin. Like how much of it is him setting up, what we could do? Why don't we make that all red? Like on a set kind of like, or even, setting up beforehand and like, it would look cool if we did this. Because that's a large part of it is the look, lighting and camera angles and what have you are a huge part of why this is such a pretty movie.
No, I totally agree. Like, obviously his set designer, deserves a ton of credit. But like the reason I like to, because it's like, this is the guy that had to say yes.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, you show your boss three, like, here's how I'm guessing this went, Sirancha. Like, you show your boss like three of Snoke's rooms. One of them is just Emperor Palpatine's room, but much bigger. Like, you get the sense that, like, if J.J. Abrams, it would be like a huge Emperor Palpatine's room. Like this throne room from the second Death Star. Then, like, this weird red room. And then, I don't know, some other goofy goober thing. But he's the one who's like, I like that red thing. Put that in the movie.
Right. It's a great
What if it
impression,
was
by the way.
red.
Thank you.
Is it Blackout in the Red Room? Is that an album? You guys keep talking. I need to look that up because that was
the Red Room is where Dale Cooper was trapped for 20 years or 25 years rather. That's a red room. The red room, there was a red room where a lot of bad stuff went down while Black Widow was part of the Russian government.
The Red Room is a viral Japanese horror site.
What? Tell me about this.
There's an urban legend that I forget what exactly the website is, but if you go to this one website at midnight, a pop-up comes up. It says, "Do you like red?" And then you delete it, and then the pop-up comes up again, and it keeps asking you, "Do you like red?" And then eventually it says, "Do you like the Red Room?" And then you die.
What? Terrifying!
Wow.
So are you supposed to say no?
How
does it not work?
It's just a pop-up. You can't go. You're not supposed to go to the website. After you do that, you're pretty much done.
Yeah, it's like, why would you say Candyman? I'm not going to say Candyman, and I'm not going to say Beetlejuice. And granted, I've said one of those words twice, and I've only said one of those words once, and that's it. I'm fold.
What about Candy Juice? Can you do like a mashup?
I don't want to be even half. I don't want to be at 2.5 with this with you know who.
I've been handed an update. Blackout in the Red Room is the debut album from American hard rock band Love Hate. That's why that was in my head. Nobody remembers any of this. Came out in 1990 on Columbia Records.
Well, anything else for minute number 17?
Well, I just. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think it might be fun to, maybe give at least one big Porg fact that your listeners might not know. In every
Okay, let's hear
episode.
it.
And so this episode's Porg fact is the first canonically named Porg. Because it's like, there's Ewoks, but then there's like Wicket. There's like named Ewoks, and the first canonically named Porg, Sirancha, is?
Terabus.
The Porg. Can you tell us a little bit about Terabus?
Oh, we learned
Cerebus
about
the Porg?
him.
Terabis, not Cerebus,
Terrible.
whose author really went off the rails.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. I thought this was just a fun Conan parody, and now I'm learning stuff about this guy I don't like. Anyway, tell us about...
Tell us about Terabis.
Tell us enough about Cerebus, Sirancha. I can't even believe you brought up Cerebus.
I can't believe I did that either.
Creators, awful views on women. Please tell us about Terabis.
Terabis is a cute little porg, and I think we only learn about him in the chapter books. Is that correct?
I believe, yes, that is true. A lot of Porg lore is filled in through the novels and the books. I'll be reading from this later this week, but this is Chewie and the Porgs.
Chewie and the Porgs.
Who gave Terabis this name? Does he or she have their own name, or is this a name like an owner gives it to the Porg?
They're
Like
birds,
cats.
so I don't think they have. I don't think they're capable of naming one another. But
Well, every Porg
who
has
does-
3 names: the one that you call it, and then the one they call them each other, and then a secret name that nobody knows.
But
So
I
it's,
think
it's a sentient creature giving Terabis the name in the story.
it would have to be, yeah.
I think it's Poe. I think I vaguely remember seeing in the comic book him being.
Poe does
I'm
like
gonna
naming
name
things.
him Terabis.
Poe likes naming things? What
He
else
does.
does Poe name?
He named Finn?
Oh, that's true. Oh, wait. The main character from these movies? Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
He named Ray. Ray's original name was Amelia, and he's like, nah, your name is Ray. And she's like, all right. And then after that, she went on to become famous.
Hoity ho!
Blimey. Well, all right, then I
That's
guess
good.
that'll wrap up minute 17. Thanks for that extra Porg fact. Any other
Yeah.
details about Terabis?
Hang on, I have the wiki. I'm trying to figure out where his name came from.
He has his own
Oh.
wiki. Is it a he?
It is a he. Terabis was a male porg from the
course.
ancient planet Octo who hid aboard the Millennium Falcon. Oh, so it's the little porg we see.
Oh,
Are there multiple
Oh,
porgs?
part of
that
Chewie's
hide?
breeding
There's a
pair.
family of Porgs on the Falcon, and which we will bring up later because of your hashtag out of the nest campaign.
Wexley names.
Snap Wexley?
Snap Wexley.
I was really
Wexley.
hoping Snap Wexley would make it. All right, but let's roll. Let's keep
All right.
going.
All right, I guess I'll wrap up this minute then. Hey, you guys, did you know that in addition to doing a podcast, and we sell various cool merchandise designs? You can get any one of our cool designs on a T-shirt, on an artistic print, on a mug, a pandemic mask, if that's still a thing when this episode airs. All sorts of merchandise you can get by going to StarWarsMinute.com/merch. It'll take you to our shop, and you can stock up on all your gift needs for the foreseeable future. And then you can join us here tomorrow on another Star Wars Minute.
Star Wars.
Board maybe on the